Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, punters of all ages, welcome back to the Mock Sports present Quaddie Poddy. Cashy joined by Nicko. How are you, mate?
Yeah, man, doing well. Not too bad.
Yeah, we're a few weeks deep in the autumn now. The good horses are all well and truly back. They're even headed for their second run of the preps now, so we've really got a sense of how they've come back, how they're progressing, and what they're going to look like later on in the autumn when the really big races come to town. 3 big Group 1s to tip this week, but of course we'll touch on last week. Did you watch much of the racing?
I watched a little bit of it. I was very unlucky with a couple of things that went on. Obviously, Tom Kitten.
Oh my God! What a
Jesus
finish!
Christ, what a finish! Almost got there. Would have got me some nice handy points in the tip off, but not to be second place. But geez, the Kitten was coming.
Do you imagine if he was down the outside and didn't have to weave through a bunch of blokes?
It was honestly a pretty poor run from Mellon. Just putting him on the fence, got held up, and Kitten wanted to go and just went too late. That's all it was.
Kitten had some dog in him, man. Made Mr. Brightside work for it. Brightside, yet another Group 1, but he didn't do it easy. They're closing the gap.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's it was there. But yeah, watched a couple more. Obviously, Jimmy Star as well got up on the weekend.
Yeah, that Jimmy Star and Another Wheel form line is becoming the form line to follow. So any horses that are around them, get on them, because they've just both come out and won 2 Group 1s first up. It's a form line to watch.
Yeah, I know another unlucky one with me with Ray Mag. I thought Ray Mag ran pretty well.
Looked the winner.
Jimmy Star ran better. I just didn't think Jimmy Star would get it done at the distance, but got it done. So yeah, missed out on some handy points there. That would have been really nice, but honestly, I'm used to it.
It is the standard with you in the tip-offs, that's for sure.
I've been coming close seconds for a long time, but it's all right.
Yeah, well, you are typically the autumn man, okay? I don't think you've lost an autumn tip-off in a while, so hopefully you can bounce back. We still haven't settled on the punishment. Next week, I'm going to make the official announcement. I'm going to settle on it. Nick said that I can pick the poison, so I will have the decision down pat next week for your punters. But something else to touch on down in Melbourne before we look at Sydney. IME, what happened there? I know that she had top weight, so she was always going to struggle with the top weight, but still, much better horse than what she produced. I know that she was blocked off a bit, got stuck in a bit of traffic, but just didn't let down when asked of in the end, really. If you go back and look at it, you can put a line through it because, first up, tough weight, has to go against the boys with a top weight, and, the female horses always struggle that way, but you still would have thought she'd have a bit of measure on them to at least be finishing closer than that, wouldn't you think?
Yeah, probably, but at the same time, the bookies didn't really back her in either, and you were licking your lips at the top of a good price, and for good reason. They probably had her at that price because she didn't run on really well. So I don't know if they know something that we don't, but they weren't wrong, were they?
No, they certainly weren't, and I was so upset. I thought we were absolutely going to be rolling in it after the investment I made at that price. I made investments at 26 in the futures once she scratched in the Lightning, and then again at the 10s, and it just all went amiss in the end, unfortunately. But we'll touch on Sydney quickly. Your best bet went a lot better than mine. Broadsiding, gee, he's just such a good horse. I thought he'd win. I definitely thought Linebacker would get closer and be the only one that could really get anywhere near him, but no one got near him. He's just a class above.
He is. He's a very good horse. So hopefully this year can get a couple more wins where he probably needs them, especially later on in the year and spring. If you can get a couple more good wins in the Group 1s, I think he'll go down as a really, really good horse.
Do you think maybe 2025 is just it's make or break for him? He's going to get in as much wins as he can. Do you think that by the end of this spring they'll probably be sending him off to the breeding barn, probably a second crack at the Cox Plate, you'd think?
Yeah, you'd probably think a second crack at the Cox Plate, but unsure. Probably send for a stud at the end of the spring, I'd assume. But G's Godolphin are flying right now. They're doing well.
They certainly were down in the dumps for quite a few months there, but they came back with a vengeance on the weekend. All of their runners that were in good spots were either winning or going very close to getting the chockies.
100%.
The only other one, the other major breeder in town, Coolmore, Woderton. Did it go pop, or was it just, a tick over run on the road to the Golden Slipper, do you reckon?
I think it's just to prove that 2-year-olds are so unpredictable, and no matter how good of a chance you reckon it is, it's always going to come against something better in a 2-year-old season. Anything can happen in a 2-year-old season.
God, I was mad when Baywalk got up. Holy shit. Of course, as soon as I jump off it to get on the hype 2-year-old, it wins at like $20. I could not believe my eyes. Very keen to see how that measures up in a golden slipper now. But I don't think it's cause for concern with Wotaton. I think, especially since on the day, Waller came out and said, look, obviously we want him to win, but the intentions here is to go back, have him run on late. If he gets his head in front, awesome. Shows us that he can do that. But above all else, we're getting him ready for Slipper. Slipper's grand final. Waller is a grand final trainer. Who cares about the little group 2s and 3s on the way? The big breeding deal, obviously, is the Slipper. The big money race is the Slipper. So he wants him to be Peach for Slipper Day, which I can respect. So I thought the writing was on the wall a bit there. I still thought he'd get closer. But all of the criticism that was going McAvoy's way again for getting him in that position, I think was a little unjust. Yes, probably could he have wrote him a little better, but I mean, he clearly was writing to instructions.
Yeah, 100%. There's nothing too worrying about. Like all this stuff happens in every 2-year-old season. So if you really like Wotaton, can bounce back very well. You don't see many 2-year-old winners that just go unbeaten.
Yeah, in history, there's not a lot of undefeated Golden Slipper winners.
Yeah, so it's always so it'll go down to who's the best on the day, I think, and who has the best setup and who's as fit as it comes. So we'll wait and see. But I was never too thrilled with Wotaton. I never thought it was that first up win was good, but I don't know. It's a lot of people calling it a lot of good things, and it's you just can't be that confident in 2-year-olds.
Yeah, neither was I. I obviously could.
Well, you backed it.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I thought it was the best horse on the weekend. I'm not calling it the world beater that everyone thought after one start, purely because if he'd done that in another class of 2-year-olds that we've seen in the last couple of years, I'd probably get a bit more excited, as we did with the Storm Boys, as we did with some of the other horses in the previous years, like the Cool and Gatters and such. Whereas we've all been quite aware of how average this year's 2-year-olds was. So the fact that he dominated first up, impressive, yes, but I wasn't jumping up and down going, oh my God, here's our next star of racing, just because I was very well aware that that field is probably going to turn out to be nobodies, and there's no one really screaming star quality here. Hopefully come spring when they all turn 3, they get a bit better, but the 2-year-olds across the board have just been bare average this year, in my opinion.
100%.
And we've said it many times this year on the pod, and we're probably going to say it almost every week because they are just that average. We'll go to the hotline. We've got Geordie from Stocks Bloodstock. He's becoming a regular segment here. Talking about regular segments through the hotline. Where's Showerbets gone?
Yeah, gone.
Where's he gone? I hope he's still listening at least. I hope we haven't lost a listener there, but I miss him. I miss hearing the water trickle through my ears as he gives off, albeit average tips, but I liked him calling in. But is Stocks?
G'day, boys. Joy from Stocks Bloodstock here. Wotan. Sick beat. 3-well the trip, but we move on. Shaggy this weekend, boys. If he gets an uncontested lead, I think he should be very, very hard to beat. Cheers, boys.
All right. Well, we just discussed it, but last week, didn't you say that Stocks was saying Wotan best of the year, best bet of the carnival?
Best of the carnival. And that is why just proof in the pudding. You just can't put it down. 2-year-olds, in my opinion, as like morals at all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, probably not a bad one, Shaggy. We'll see how that goes this weekend. But
we'll talk about him a bit later. But I found out on the weekend, I heard a rumor. I don't know if someone was pulling my leg here. I found out why he's apparently called Shaggy, why they named him Shaggy. Would you like to guess?
Is it the song? It wasn't me.
No, I would love it if it was. Well, here's a hint. He's a gelding for a reason.
Because he fucks?
Apparently, before he got his nuts chopped off, he wanted to fuck, man.
That's the same thing as the song.
Oh, it is too, isn't it?
That is, oh my goodness.
I just thought it was because he wanted to shag everything. Yeah, you're right too, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh my God, that was a really dumb moment from you.
Oh, I thought, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. the boy wanted to smash quite a bit, apparently. That's why they called him Shaggy. So take with that information what you will.
All right, we've got a list of questions. Tyler, any danger of Nicko cracking a smile for once?
There's
Thanks,
a smile.
Man. There you go.
There's a smile.
There you go, Tyler. Hayden Miles, thoughts on photograph race 7 at Canterbury on Friday night? I didn't watch it.
No, it is running this Friday night.
I thought there was last week a photograph finish. Nah.
Yeah. First up, J-Mac on. James Cummings trained. As we said, Godolphin's flying all of a sudden. Could be one to follow in. Certainly the best horse in the race. Whether it wins remains to be seen.
If you're going to own any 2-year-old at the moment, who would it be? Belmercy for me.
Belzane.
Cool.
It's the best Waterhouse horse going into Slipper season.
And last one.
Really where you want to be.
Start a ladder challenge for the picks. ChatGPT gives you $10 to $1,000. That's not even a question.
That's a demand.
Yeah. But that's all. So I'll try and smile a bit more as well. Sorry, guys. Didn't realize.
For a bit of context there for that one, in our broadcast channel at the moment, if you want to join it on Instagram, we've been running a bit of experiment, asking ChatGPT to bet on the NBA, and you would be actually shocked how successful it is. So if you want to join our broadcast channel and get all of them, obviously no prizes for us. We're just typing into ChatGPT, give us your best bet on the NBA, and it spits one out. But we're doing an experiment to just see how profitable it can be over a 10-day period. We'll make a video about it soon, and you'll be absolutely shocked at the results. But if you want to get on those bets, join our Instagram broadcast channel. So was that all?
That's all.
All right, let's get into the tips. Randwick, it's going to be dry as a bone. We've got the rail in the true position as well, so it should be as fair can be. There could be some bias on the day, but nothing that has presented on paper. So it should be, the best horses getting the chockies. Race 1, the 1100 meter benchmark 72 midway. One of the tougher midways we've had to tip in a while here, Nick. I think just about anything could win here. I settled on To the Extreme. Should sit off them, launch late, carries a low weight, and has gone close in this grade before. Should hopefully be competitive at $8 to win, $2.60 to place.
Cool. I'm going with Shall Be. Takes a 3 kilo claim off the 58.5 kilos, $7.50, $2.50 for a place. This prep's been really, really nice. 2 wins and second place. It's had 3 wins from 6 starts and then 2 in the minors. So it's only missed the placings in 1 run. Looks really, really nice. $7.50 for me. It's good enough in the midway. Got a race 2. Got class 3 highway, 1,000 meters here. Dartboard. Won't be betting on this, like I say, every single week. But if I have to, I'll go with Caribbean King, National Willer on board. $7 for the win, $2.40 for a place. Last start wasn't too bad at Eagle Farm, 5th place. Before that, running at Randwick, it had 2 second places before that, behind Tickle Belly, which is decent enough form to go off for me.
Look, the highway, uncharacteristically, has had a few short winners lately, and that's not going to last too long. It's the highway for a reason. Any of them can get up, and sooner or later, a big price horse is going to get up. So I've tried to target one here. Spec, rising through the ranks slowly but surely in the country. Like, I'm talking country. Last start, it won at, let me get it, Walker? Where's that, Nick? Where's Walker? You know where Walker is? I don't know where Walker is. But it won, and it's actually coming off some fairly decent form at the 1,000 meter distance. Obviously, this is a step up in grade, but $23 to win, $5.50 to place. Solid price to find out if she can measure up. As we move to race 3, 1,200 meter benchmark 88. Glint of Silver is the class horse here. Drops quite a bit in class, but usually takes a few runs to get going and also likes it a bit longer. So I won't be surprised if he wins. I'm just staying away. Spring Lee. However, punters, 2 lengths off the finish in a Group 3 last start. Now gets to drop a ton in grade as well and doesn't have to lump all the weight and actually gets a distance that suits her quite a bit. $2.20. J-Mac jumps on, like I believe I mentioned. I just think, short, no prizes for the price, but should be getting the chockies.
Yep, going with Les Vampires here. Adam Hieronymus on, Gabe Bott. $4.20 here. Hasn't raced in a long time. It hasn't raced since 6th of April.
last year.
Yeah, so very long time between runs. It's had a couple trials though, and it's trying pretty well. It had a 3rd place in a trial and a 2nd place in a trial. Not too bad. $4.20. Take it here. First up. Very nice. Race number 4, we have got the 1,200 meters here, and this is the Shaggy's race.
He fucks.
Yeah, Shaggy fucks. But yeah, I'm going with Comedy, $6. 2nd place last start was really, really nice. I'm going to go with it once again here. One better, Josh Parr. Let's go Comedy.
Yeah, he fucks. Shaggy for me. Look, not in the slipper at the moment, but if they win here, surely they pay up. They said that they were probably going to pay up after the last start because the prize money would pay off the late fee of $150,000. You would think if they're going to do it anyways, it'd have to be an absolute lock if he somehow wins here because, would have been paid twice over now. Honestly, even though they're probably going to pay up and go to the Golden Slipper, because why wouldn't you? I wouldn't mind seeing them just bypass it and then really focus on having him as a long-term horse because he is a gelding. So why do they need all that sweet, sweet breeder's money? But I mean, $5 million in prize money is $5 million in prize money. Obviously, if you've got an opportunity to go there, go there. But it would actually be quite refreshing to see them skip it. But yeah, $2.35, Shaggy straight at the front, hopefully gets the job done.
Well, Alan Kehoe, I haven't seen too many 2-year-olds running around that he's got. So I think he's just
he's a small-time trainer.
He's found one. He's got the chance, and he's gone, you know what? I'm going something a bit different. You watch, punters. If this horse goes on and wins the slipper, how many 2-year-olds will be starting to get gelded? You'll see a lot more of it, I think.
Interesting call. And to be fair, if he goes on and win the slipper, you will get your prediction right of the fact that you said the winner was going to come out of his last race, the Pierrot Plate. So yeah, let's see. If he wins the slipper, you're a genius. Race 5, the girls' turn here with the Group 2 Sweet Embrace Stakes. Likely the last time, like the boys, I forgot to mention that probably the last time you'll see a few of these horses, unless they try and run the week before as a final ditch attempt to get into the field, as we're about 3-4 weeks out from slipper time. So usually you see them run here and then get put away for the slipper, unless they have to really, put runs on the board to get in. Bella Zane is the best horse in the field considering what she has shown so far. Beat Baywalk last start, who came out obviously last week like we discussed, and beat Woderton. She's also Gay Waterhouse's best chance headed into the slipper, in my opinion. And, she doesn't have half the field this year. She's only got slim pickings. She's only got a few. She's focusing on a select few horses, and I believe this is probably her best chance. So she'll be wanting to get the win here to stamp the slipper credentials. So, yeah, Bella Zane at $4.40 for me.
Fair enough. I'm going with the unridden horse, maiden in this one. Wooton Lass, $18, $4 for a place. 2 trials have been pretty nice. 2nd place and a win there. Just think at the price, it's good enough for me to go for. It's got a bit of value when it's run pretty well, pretty well since trialing. I think it's going to be good enough. So $18, even if it gets a place, it's still going to be a win at $4. So go each way for sure.
It's also a Watt and Bassett horse. I've discussed many times how good those kids are going. So take on board that.
Race 6, 1,400 meters.
Here we go.
Millie's Jewel should win. First up record speaks for itself. 6 starts, 4 wins, 2 second places. Hasn't missed the trifecta first up. Is doing really well at this distance as well. 4 starts, 1 win, 3 in the placings. Hasn't missed the top 2. So,
J-Mac finally gets to sit on her as well. That could be something to look at.
Yeah.
But
Olentia, only one that is the danger, I think. I think I'm going to go for another Quinella play there later on. Hint. Love Olentia but didn't go well with Jolly Star. But
no, it didn't. Neither of them placed in the end. Look, everyone knows my torrid affair with Amelia's Jewel. Did I like her? Did I hate her?
Hated her.
Fuck yeah, I did. She'll probably win here, and I'll get a lot of comments telling me how dumb I am. But I'm actually going the other Perth girl, our Safina. I know my hatred towards Perth horses seems a bit dumb here, but I just think Amelia's Jewel, obviously very hard to beat here, but I just can't back her. I can't. She's burnt me too many times. So I'm glad you've gone at least to cover it. And again, surprising I'm on a Perth horse, but looking through her form, I just think she has the turn of foot to overcome what is probably going to be quite the slow tempo. Last start, for Alentia. I saw Alentia here and I thought, oh, bang, second up. She had that run for the fitness. Let's get around her. But then I had a look. Very slow race last start, which is why Jolly Star ended up going amiss, because instead of just taking up the pace and zooming, Karen McAvoy decided to put the handbrakes on, go 3 wide, and just make it into a sit and sprint, and couldn't quick, and neither could Alentia. So I believe it's probably going to end up being very similar here. And Alentia couldn't pick herself up then. Is she going to be able to pick herself up this time? I don't know, but I know a horse that can is our Safina. I think she sits off them, quickens around the bend, puts it to bed in the final 100. Perth Girls to run the Quinella, and $4 to win for our Safina. For me, we skip race in 7-8. That's the tip off. We skip to race 9, 1,300 meter Group 3 Liverpool City Cup here. Great race. Honestly, I would say race of the day, other than, of course, the obvious Very Elegant Stakes. Some really, really good horses here. I will say Golden Mile, welcome back to the races. Another instance that we've seen a few times happen lately. Sent to the breeding barn, shooting blanks. Let's chop him off and send him back. So here he comes, fresh off the gelding. And as we've seen, with a Tom Kitten, was already a good horse. They gelded him and he's just gotten better. Could the same happen with Golden Mile? I'm still really looking forward to seeing the damage that Militarized can do when he gets back to full fitness after they did the same with him. I won't be on him, but punters, it's something to look at there. $12 for a horse fresh off a gelding, let alone a Golden Mile, who's a group, multi-time group winner fresh off a gelding there. NCAP's a class horse, but usually takes a run or two to get going. Give me the Beat Boys and Willardo. Probably going to have a speed battle up front to see who can hold them out the longest. And I'm going to be on Willardo. Most informed horse also gets to carry 55 compared to Golden Miles 58 and Gringotts 61. I know that Gringotts has carried a lot of weight in the past and still won in quite good company, but that is just a big weight difference there. $4.10 for a horse that's so well placed. I'm more than willing to take it. Willardo for me in the ninth.
Yeah, I'm going with Gringotts. I think top weight's been proven. Last start's definitely a forgive. Before that, won very, very nicely from a bad barrier as well. So it's had a lot of things go against it, and it's won well. So Gringotts for me, $5.50. So we go to the last benchmark 88 to finish at the 2,000 meters. Settling on Birdman here. I think it's one of the better ones in this race. It's going to be a tough one, that's for sure. J-Mac gets on. Second up, $3.50. Looks pretty nice. So ran pretty nice behind Highlights and Headley Grange first up.
Yeah, Birdman as well. Closed off well enough over the mile. Jumps to a much suitable distance. Kinesiology jumped to a much suitable distance out of that race last weekend, and he ran pretty decently. Didn't get the chockies, but ran well enough to show that these Waller horses, the imports in their second prep, jumping up to that distance now. The first up run was only fitness, ready to win here, $3.50. I'm with you there in the last, Nick. As we move to the tip-off, I'm chasing you. I need points, mate. We don't know what we're playing for yet, but I do need points. You're starting to stretch out further and further. We'll head to Flemington for race 8 on the card, the 1,600-metre Australian Guineas. They've separated it from Randwick Guineas, which is fantastic. You would have thought that it would make for 2 really strong races because for the last few years, those fields have had to split because 2 1,600-metre Group 1 Guineas on the same day in 2 different states. But unfortunately, we've actually ended up with another quite average field as all the horses just went, stuff you, we're just going to Randwick anyways. So we've got a few clear-cut horses that have been, run real well, and then we've got a few that are clearly making up the numbers. How do you see this race playing out?
This is a very tough one. I will not be probably betting on it. I'll probably just watch it. So I'm going with Sepples. 1-3 on the trot. Blake Shin, great jockey, $6, $2.10. There's a good couple ones that you can go for, but it's a tough one, that's for sure. So if you want to go for anything, go for a bit of value. But I've settled on Sepples.
I've gone Point and Shoot. I think really well placed. He's been rising through the grades. Obviously, this is a big jump from benchmark 78, but gee, put them to bed with absolute ease. Damien Lane's been booked, which is clear intent from the Bjorn camp. Out of the first barrier, should just head straight to the front or just off the front and then be strong late. Bjorn's flying, $5 to win, $1.95 to place. I'd love it to get to each way odds. But yeah, last start, man. Like it likes to be up closer at the head of the midfield, just off the pace, but missed the start last run and was back a mile and just rounded them up and just put him to bed within the space of a couple of strides. It was so impressive. I think it's a group horse in the making. Whether or not he wins here remains to be seen. He might not be a Group 1 horse, but he's much better than Benchmark 78. So don't sniff your nose at that big jump in class, because I think this is his class. So point and shoot for me. As we move back to Randwick, we go to race 7, the 1400 metre Group 1 Surround Stakes. I've got fond memories of this race. I landed hinged in this race at very big odds back in the day, and thought that Hinge was going to be an absolute world beater, and she's become an absolute cat. Well, she has. I've wasted that much money on that horse, but I'll still forever have her in my memories, because boy, oh boy, did a lot of the boys in the footy team get on that horse that day, because we were all there for a Bucks party. Good day that day. That's all I'll say. But we've got Lady Shenandoah as the clear-cut favourite, $1.55 with J-Mac on board because Zachy Lloyd got the suspension. Lady of Camelot, Manal, moving out, Powers of Opal, Lilac, Lazura, More Territories, Amalita, Castagno, Delici Boulevard, Husk, Dominetta, Idle Flyer, and Island Deck. Is it Lady Shenandoah or a bust, mate, or are you looking elsewhere?
Well, for the tip-off, I'm definitely going elsewhere. Lady Shenandoah should be winning very nicely, but I'm going to stick with Manal, my girl, $18, $3.20. What a price to get her at.
Oh, yeah.
If she places, which she most likely will run well, more points than the winner. So looking nice, $18. She's won at worst odds. She's won at 45s before, so she can get it done when people don't expect her to. So let's have a look.
Yeah, Lady Shenandoah should be winning. I'm not an idiot. I have a pair of eyes. I know that horse proved last start that it's better than the majority of this field, and by quite some amount. Waller second up syndrome is probably the only thing that beats it here, because J-Mac's going to put her in the winning spot. We know that. We know that she's better than them. We know that this is probably a more suitable distance as well. So all things considered, she should piss in. But at $1.55, don't bet on her, because if she goes under, you're just going to get annoyed that you lost all your money on $1.55 pop. Sit back, watch, relax, enjoy, and try and find someone for a place like we have. Okay? Lady Shenandoah wins, but I'm on Amalita to try and get that juicy price place of $5 there. $35 to win. If it somehow gets over the top, oh my God. But it'll definitely be if you're staking $10, go $2.50 to win, $7.50 to place. Had the best sectionals out of that race behind Lady Shenandoah. Jumps the 200 metres here. Hopefully just sneaks in for second or third there as Lady Shenandoah gets the chockies, and J-Mac probably stands up and waves his whip and heads back into the sheds to get ready for the next race, which we'll get into here, the Very Elegant Stakes. Boy, oh boy, we've got the second showdown of Ceolwulf, Via Sistina, and Fangirl. Throw in a bunch of others that could potentially play spoilers. But what are you thinking of the race, mate?
I think Via will be real hard to beat, especially with J-Mac on. J-Mac just understands this horse back to front. Didn't think she was too bad. She probably just got pretty ordinary run, pretty soft run. So I'm going to stick with Via Sistina here. $1.90 is a decent price. The placings are very low for some other horses. So I think Via for the win is the play for this one, for the tip-off for me.
I don't want to say M word, but I'm very confident that she wins here. She arguably should have won last start, but did McAvoy put her in a bad spot? Maybe, but
it's an omen as well. She's Waller's new Very Elegant. So
very true. Very true. It's J-Mac's new Very Elegant as well. You know, up to 1,600, gets conditions to her liking, gets the perfect barrier to just lob up there in the first 4 or 5. Basically what he used to do on Fangirl and what he used to do on Very Elegant as well. Jason Collett, you got the job done last start. You get to stick. Congratulations for you. You're Fangirl's new jockey, because unless they split,
some people didn't like him.
I did not like him. I didn't like the fact that a brand new jockey was going on Fangirl, but I was proven wrong. But yeah, come on. Surely just goes back to the old Fangirl, Very Elegant, Animo strategy. Lobs up in the first 5, sits nice and pretty, goes around the bend and just shows them how good she is. $1.90. I know she's short. Again, probably won't put an actual bet on unless she gets to $2. But for the tip-off, it's at least a guaranteed point. She's placing, so it's at least a guaranteed 105 points. I know I'm not getting it back on you, but I do need points. Via Sistina just wins. Just wins.
Fair enough.
Have you found anything around the country, mate, other than the features?
Race 7, Flemington Party going around as a favourite here, which you don't see very often. Serial placer, so wouldn't even be surprised to come second or third here.
Place multi-anchor, perhaps?
Yeah, definitely should place. I'd say moral for a place almost, but should win, but like genuine just likes to follow someone. So we'll wait and see. I'm going with it though. Party race 7. That's all I got.
Flemington race 2, Revelair, $2.40. Discussed this horse a couple of weeks ago when it got the chockies for us. Massive Dunkel vibes here. Just rising through the ranks of the staying ranks down in Melbourne and just putting them to bed each and every time. Just keeps getting better and better, building that picket fence. $2.40. I'm all over it. Then race 5, Clean Energy at $3. Had a very good start to its career. It's gone bang, bang for the Waterhouse camp. Blake Shin on board. Hopefully takes it right to the front and holds them all out down the straight. Hasn't seen the straight before. I think that's its only undoing. The fact that it might not end up being a straight horse. But I think it wins. Those are the only two I've found as well. Very light day. I went big at Caulfield last week and I almost went absolutely winless, but then Mr. Brightside and Deny Knowledge brought it back. One horse I'm never backing again, guys. Samana. Yuck. That's all I'll say. We've gone skinny in the Randwick Quaddie this week.
Yeah, we have.
I think you're able to, honestly. I think we've even...
We've gone a bit conservative for the first two races when you could go shorter. I'll talk you through it. You got race 7, you got Lady Shenandoah and Lady of Camelot. If you want, you can just go Lady Shenandoah if you want. Race 8, you got Via Sistina and Ceolwulf. Again, could just go Via. Race 9, you got Gringotts, Golden Mile, Willado and Cap. And then race 10, you got Birdman, Kings Valley, Father's Day, and Sways Vice. So race 9 numbers, that's 1, 2, 6, 7. And race 10, that's 2, 7, 13, 14. I'm sure you can work out the first two because there's only 2 runners, punters. And Flemington's just your regular $50 getting you that Randwick Quaddie gets you 78% for $50, which is nice. Flemington, we've just gone for the regular 19.5%. Gone race 7, Party, Zardozi, Place Do Carousel, and Marble Arch. That's 4, 7, 10, 11. Race 8, you got Angel Capital, Point and Shoot, Sepples, and Plymouth. That's 4, 7, 12, 15. Race 9, Gatsby's Reserve Bank, Daggers, Certain Rise. That's 2, 3, 7, 11. And race 10, we've got Alquena, Ziab, Euphoric, and Aramco. That's 5, 9, 11, 15, and then $50 gets you 19.5%. Best bet around the country, mate. Who you got?
Revelair in the second at Flemington. He just keeps winning. Why jump off him now? It'll be nice and early. Hopefully, we get the chockies early, and then I can throw it over to you, and we can land a double this week.
Yeah, race 6, Amelia's Jewel. Best of the day, I think. I think first up record speaks for itself. I didn't put around the grounds. I should have. Sorry. That Quinoa play for sure. I'll be playing, or even a same race multi. I'll be playing Amelia's Jewel and Alentia for sure. So, but Amelia's Jewel, best of the day for me.
Fair enough. All right. The only other thing to mention is that Dabble this weekend, Nicko's gone solo for the stream. So join in on Saturday to check out the Saturday stream. It's just going to be Nicko. I'm off partying in Wollongong for Yours and Ours Festival. I'll be singing my heart out to the Veronicas, believe it or not, as you're going live on Dabble. So use the code MOXSPORTS to sign up. Use the deposit limit. When doing so, gamble responsibly, of course. But you keen, mate?
Yeah, man. Keen. Hopefully I can smile a bit for everyone. I hope I smiled a bit more today. I really tried to smile a couple times in the podcast today because apparently I don't smile.
I've heard a lot of people say as well that you love a yawn, mid-pod yawn.
It's because I come straight from work and I'm tired. And you've had a couple of hours to chill out. And then
I would be the same if I was coming straight off work.
I'm coming straight from work and I'm straight, I literally get out of the car, you're here, and then I walk inside and we start the pod. That's what pretty much happens. Yeah. So I'm just tired. If we ideally we want to be recording on a Wednesday or a Thursday during the day, but we just can't do that at the moment because of what we got going on. So if we ever get a day pod, I won't be yawning. But night pod this time, 7:15 after a day of work, I'm tired.
I've had some good screenshots sent to me of Nick yawns. If I can find some, I'll show you. And I might
Who's
put them
sending you
on the
screenshots
story.
of me yawning?
Your brother.
No, I don't care about my brother. But yeah, I'm going solo for the Dabble stream. So if you want to come and have a chat, by all means, I'll be there from 1 p.m. for an hour. Call a couple of races. Do some pretty cool things on there as well. Talk through some AFL probably, and talk to anyone that's there if there is anyone that wants to go through. So other than that, that's all that we have to say, I think.
Yeah, game responsibly, and we'll see you next weekend, punters. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.